Minions and Monsters has finally released. Box office totals in. Let's take a look, shall we? Minions and Monsters earns worst box office debut of the entire franchise, despite the record-breaking Rotten Tomatoes score. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Minions and Monsters has broken opposite franchise records critically and commercially during its opening weekend. The movie, which debuted midweek on July 1st, ahead of Independence Day holiday, in the United States, is the third Minions movie and the seventh overall theatrical installment in the smash hit Despicable Me franchise. It follows the Minions trying to make a monster movie in Hollywood in 1927, leading a pure physical comedy chaos as they search for the perfect real-life monster ahead of the movie's release. Critics' glowing Minions and Monsters reviews earned a stellar 91% score that marked the best of the franchise, beating the number 2 movie, which was number 1 in the 2010s, Despicable Me. It beat it by 11%. Per Variety, as of Sunday morning, Minions and Monsters is projected to earn a 3-day total of $36 million at the domestic box office over the traditional weekend and a 5-day holiday weekend total of $64.5 million. While this total was still enough for the movie to take number 1 at the box office over Toy Story 5, knocking the Pixar hit down during its third weekend, it sees the sequel earning what is by far the lowest 3-day opening weekend of the entire 7-film franchise, without even adjusting for inflation, falling considerably below the original Despicable Me at $56.4 million. Minions and Monsters is also set to earn the worst 5-day opening weekend of the franchise among titles that similarly had their debuts fall on long holiday weekends, namely Despicable Me 3, which did $99 million, Minions The Rise of Gru at $123.1 million. And then below here we have the box office debuts and all their numbers here. Okay, let's talk about this, shall we? So, what do we got? Well, the box office, I think, is kind of interesting. It is kind of interesting knowing that we've had, I'd say, a lot of films come out this year so far that should have been a lot higher on box office. So 2026 movies this year, we've had Star Wars, Mandalorian and Grogu, which should have earned way more than it did. Supergirl, like it or hate it, it should have earned more than it did. But there hasn't been that many films that have blown up and done exceptionally well. Toy Story 5, Michael are the two big ones that come to mind. And that's about it. Are we looking at a point in time with cinema where movies aren't making money anymore because people are not interested? I've just recently looked at prices for Moana next weekend, and they're ridiculously priced. You know, $20. I think in America it's like 20 quid here or something, but I think it's about between $18 to $20 per ticket. Why are people going to cinemas when you can wait 45 days and you will get the same movie for $20 at home that all 5 or 6 or 7 or how many people you want to watch it can watch it, and you own it? Cinema was great back when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was like you have to go to the cinema to see the film, because once it was out of theatres, you had to wait 9 months to then see it again. Now's not the case. Physical media is dead. So with digital video on demand, it's taking cinema seats away from people, because like a family of 5 is spending $100 or whatever just on tickets, and then you're spending, you know, money at the concession stand buying popcorn, drinks, and just it gets expensive. Now, Toy Story 5 has done really well because it's Toy Story 5. Michael's done really well because it was Michael. But are we seeing big franchises like the Minions, Despicable Me franchise, that don't have the following yet, that really have their own money, or the fans that are like, actually, I can wait for this? Is that what we're seeing? DC, of course, was up and down for many years. But is that why this movie has done terrible numbers? Because I remember last week, I was looking at it last week, and I know it sounds crazy. I've been planning my return for a while. But I was looking at the numbers last week and it was like 80 million this film was supposed to make. The Minions, a Monsters movie, has a better Rotten Tomatoes score than the other Illumination movie that released this year, which was Mario Galaxy. Now, what does that tell you? On Rotten Tomatoes, Mario Galaxy has a 41%, but the movie garnished so much money. It did so much money. I think what was it? Over $1 billion globally. But the Minions movie has already bombed on its first weekend. It's not going to get a second weekend revival that I think people would probably expect it to, because Moana's out, and then you got the Christopher Nolan movie, and then you got Spider-Man. So Minions is done after this weekend, really. It's going to make a couple of million, but it's not going to be astronomical amounts. Just word for thought there, really, isn't it? I want to hear your thoughts in the conversation down below. Do you think cinema is dying, or do you just think the Minions movie wasn't well advertised? I don't know. Just let me know your thoughts. See you all in the next one. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and stay cinematic. God, I've missed doing that. See you all very, very soon.